Good day. It is Monday, August 4th. I'm here and Tara from TSW Life Coaching is with me. We are going to be doing these every 2 weeks, Monday morning musings, we're calling them. And we are just talking about the energy of what's going on, what's happening, just conversation with, well, my coffee and her
My
water.
water.
So Tara is TSW Life Coaching, like I mentioned. She does soul alignment. She is so good at the masculine and feminine, the balancing of that, what struggles you're going through. She does soul essences with plants, crystals, flowers. I love her energy. We both do a soul revival healing together, and we pull it all the things from both of our energies as well as our knowing, and pull it together to heal. So if you want that, I will post a link, and I'm sure Tara will too when she posts. And
Yep.
I'll have Tara's contact info in the description, and I'm sure mine will be in hers when she posts it. I am Sue Pickering, Soulworks owner of Soulworks by Sue Pickering, and I am an intuitive and empath, just like Tara. Psychic. I do life coaching, soul coaching, it's called, and I pull in the elements just as she does. So it's really good that we can connect that way. And yeah, welcome, Tara.
Thank you. I'm excited. This is our first one, the premiere. Do do do.
Yeah, hopefully. No, it will go good.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what this is for. It's for, people to, if we feel in energy that people are stuck or, going through things, we will chat about it. And as well as expansion and connection to our soul, where we're going. And yeah, it's open conversation. Well, for us, but if at any time you want to contact us or comment in the, comments, you need some help or whatever, help yourself. So yeah, I'm feeling the energy right now with I don't know whether it's Lionsgate or just the shifting of all the planets that's happening right now. I'm not an astrologist, but there's been a lot of overwhelm in people and a lot of stress. People are being faced with what I feel is some of their shadows,
Mm.
and it's really coming to light for people to see more and to shift more into higher vibrational timelines. What are your thoughts on that? Like,
Mhm. I saw this the other day and I was like, oh, interesting. Just because you mentioned shadow. Apparently, if you're not in the spiritual community, you don't know what that is. So
oh,
I just thought maybe we should say what that is.
yes.
Shadow is my version of shadow, or what I understand it to be, is all those aspects that you were conditioned to believe are bad or wrong, or um yeah, there's no other word, bad or wrong. And so it's parts of ourselves that we push into the shadows because we deem them to be undesirable, and they are a part of our wholeness, so they're a part of us. And I always say, if you find you're judging someone else, then that's your shadow. So if you're judging people like, how can this person be so cranky, or how can this person be so dishonest, or things like that, and that's all part of the shadow that you have to own, because again, that's a part of our wholeness, and we can't be whole if we don't have all of it. And it
That's
may not be desirable, but
yeah.
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 Sorry, got you off.
No, you didn't. And I was thinking the judgments as you were before you even said it. So that's awesome. And yeah, I just feel that with the shadows, yes, some of it is trauma, some of it is and how we see ourselves after that trauma. How do we move forward? The shadows of what we need to see within ourselves, absolutely. And how do we get there, right? And
Yeah.
moving through that for sure. Yeah.
And I always like I always think with the shadow, just because we own it doesn't mean we have to display it. So, like anger or like aggression or things like that. Like I know part of the shadow that I've come up with is like really aggressive energy. Um, and I had to own that. And it's not that that's who I want to be all the time, but that's a part of me. And so there's a part, as soon as I owned it, and I was like, yeah, I can be aggressive. I'm safe and I love myself being aggressive. I choose not to be, mostly because I don't feel the need. But if I'm like an animal or instinctual, I'm pushed up against a wall, I'm coming out fist blazing kind of thing.
Yep.
And so it's about owning it doesn't mean that you have to be that. It just means that you can. You have
Yep.
that choice and you stop shaming yourself for it.
Yeah, and not labeling yourself for as that is a big piece of that, because
Mhm.
yes, you can be that way, but what is right about it? I'm pushed against a wall and I'm going to come out guns blazing. That's something that is going to be in your favor, right?
Yeah.
So really, like I use myself as a perfectionist. Some people say, why do you have to be that way? And it's not, I have learned to be in flow with it, but it's a piece of me that I've learned to love, because now I know, because I am, that I do everything to my utmost highest ability for me. And I don't make that a wrongness. And that is a big aspect of how some people make themselves wrong. Why do I think like that?
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a family member, and she catches herself now. She says, "Oh, you're so stupid. Why did you do that?" And she said, "I can't use those words anymore." Right. And it's where we are energetically.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's such a big thing. W- When it's in the shadow, then we use it to shame ourselves. Or we work so hard to disown it and keep it from coming up that it's like popcorn is what came to mind. It's like holding a lid on it. It's like not allowing it. And so it's all about just owning that and loving that because it is a part of our divinity. It is a part of who we are. And
Yeah.
so it's, yeah, it's, you have to be all of it. To be whole, you have to be all of it, which is all those parts together make you. And they're beautiful, all of them. And
Yeah.
like you said, it's about finding that flow with it and finding how to use it to your advantage rather than it being shamed. Part
That's
of the
right.
shame story.
Yeah. And I feel a big aspect too of the shadow is when we are in those spaces, like you said, the judgment. Yes, looking at why we feel how we feel, but there's also a space of detaching. I feel that, well, for me personally, I have done a lot of detachment. I don't attach myself when someone is doing whatever they're doing. You do your journey, I'm doing mine. And I really detach from that. And I found that it doesn't bring up as much shadow aspects, because I'm not buying into your misery, right? I don't have to be in that space.
Mhm.
And I have learned, to remind myself, you are on your journey. Just because it's not what I would do, or because I have a different story, I react differently, I do things differently. I've just learned to move my vibration away than stay in it and cause me to, be frustrated when it's not in my control and it doesn't really matter to me. And why
Yeah.
doesn't it matter, right? I'm not hiding from the shadow, but it's just an aspect that I have really, in the last 6 months, I have really moved in a totally different direction, more flow. And I know you are much in flow. The only thing that ties me down is an actual appointment and time. If Tara and I have been trying to do a live, and it's like, let's do it this weekend. We're not going to commit to a time. If it happens, it happens. And then I get moving, doing my thing, and I go, oh, darn, I forgot about that, right? But I'm moving more into a different vibration completely. I don't know. I assume that the viewers are too, because everyone's kind of going through that struggle is moving, right?
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, flow is flow is where it's at. It's yeah, and it's not an easy to move from
No.
3D conditioned mind to being in flow. And there's a lot of stuff that comes up, shadow and otherwise, conditioning, lots of conditioning that come up with it. And I just wrote on one of my posts the other day that it's surrender, and like, which is what I consider being in flow, is just surrendering to the moment. Um and it's so taught that it's a weakness or whatever. So,
Yeah.
and it's not. It is hard, way harder to be in flow than it is to be regimented and try to be in control. Think you have control, um, which
Yes.
is the talk of the ego. But I know
Yeah.
you mentioned all the energies. So did you want to talk about that? Sorry, we kind of got on a.
Oh no, I was gonna say something else about the flow. That's the feminine side is being in flow. The masculine is control, and right. So we need to find that balance. The energy right now, I'm feeling a lot of people are stressed. A lot of people they're really struggling. I can't say that's for me because I have just been on this upswing. But I think it just depends on where we are all resonating from. And I'm not saying I don't have any struggles because I'm no like no one else or like everyone else that
Yeah.
I do. Um, but there's I feel that like sleep patterns are changing, people are eating differently, there's different energy being brought, people are exhausted, there's just this massive shift and everyone seems to be going through the waves, right? uh
Yeah.
it's I don't know, it's just been a lot. Have you
It
gone?
has been a lot, and I love the way you said waves, because that's totally speaking, bringing back to flow, is about being flow with that. And I like you can't say that I'm always in flow with it, because you know. And what I've learned is, for me, there was more of this like grasping, because there'd be times where I wouldn't sleep, and then I would sleep, and then I'm like, okay, what did I do? Because I'm going to do that tonight, I'm going to sleep, and I get so anxious about it, and I
Mm,
wasn't in flow with it. And um allow it to be what it's going to be. So, you know, every day when I go to bed, I'm like, okay, last time I slept, I did this, and then I did this, and then and I was grasping and trying to make it happen, and then it wouldn't. And I'm like, hey, that wasn't it. And I was trying to figure it out and control what it was rather than just be in flow with it. Okay, so today's not a sleeping day. And I know we were just talking about this before, but like digestion is a huge thing. And I would always be like, because that's always been something that I've had issues with, thus being an empath, an unhealthy empath, with digestion issues. And so there was such a part of me that was so attached to, okay, if I ate this yesterday and my digestion was good, so then I go to do it the next day, but the energies would be different and my digestion would be off. And so, and for so long, I tried to control and manipulate how everything was, which our bodies listen. So that put me in stress state right away. So my body, of course, digestion wise, not even counting the energies, would be in stress state again, because that's what it was used to. And so the more I allow and the more I'm just like, Kate, today's not going to be a good digestion day. It is what it is.
yeah.
And and that kind of thing, and not try to control it, and just allow it to be what it's going to be, the easier I can move through it and flow through it.
Yeah, and I find like especially with digestion, being in the moment. What is your body requiring, right?
Hmm.
Your body is telling you one thing, but yet trying or wanting to eat something different, right? Because you go to those old comfort foods or whatever, right? Um, have you ever thought of going to a restaurant, opening the menu and going like this, close your eyes and go dunk and pick what you, that's being in flow.
Well, that's being in flow,
Yeah.
definitely. I've never tried that because
Yeah.
I have, I don't know how to word this. I've been very choosy about what I eat. I was a vegetarian for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
And in my world, I mean, choose to do what you choose to do and what your body calls for. Um, but in my world, when I started eating meat, chicken has no skin or bones. So I live in fear of skin and bones.
Oh, that's your shadow.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, it just
Uh,
I can't get past that in my head. But yeah, so no, I haven't tried doing that with a menu, but that's interesting. Maybe
there's
I should.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a restaurant in Bali that is it's a you sit down at the table and there's a tarot reader. She flips cards and whatever cards come up is what your body is it's a message for your body to eat certain foods.
Yeah,
I'm like, "Whoa, I guess I would be good with it as long as it wasn't something that is more of a delicacy that I'm like, but I mean, right?"
that'd be very cool. But again, it kind of coming back to what you said, it's about trusting your body,
Yep.
and it's about letting go of that conditioning.
Yep.
Because even like last night, um, and I've just been trusting my body more and more, and I've stopped pretty much eating sugar, like in things. Still having it in like juice and stuff like that, but and again, not that I went consciously, I'm gonna stop eating sugar,
Yep.
because it was never that I ate that much of it, but my body just stopped. And then last night, I was like, I want some sugar. And then I went into judgment about it. I was like, no, no, we're not doing that anymore. And so I went and had what I was craving, and just that was it, right?
Yep.
And it's about really listening to our bodies, because they know. They know what it wants. It knows what it needs. Sometimes that's sugar. Sometimes it
Yep.
needs the, you know, and I know we've had this conversation before. When I am leveling up, I crave baking like there's no tomorrow. And I don't usually. Um, and so it's that sugar thing. It's like I need that energy. And yeah, it's just about, but that's been a huge journey for me, is like learning to trust my body
Yep.
and let go of all that conditioning.
Yeah. And as an empath, like I can honestly say, like before I teach angelic Reiki, the week leading up to it, I cannot eat. Like or when I'm reading, doing a full day of readings, like at a market, I can go without eating. It's just being in that higher, for me, it's being in that higher vibration. And then I'll have a client that leaves or I'll be finished. I'm like, why am I starved? And it's like there's foods that are trying to bring me down to a lower vibration. Sometimes I do need it though, because I need to ground. But it's listening to all of those, like it's being in flow, right? And really listening. We're conditioned, eat breakfast, it's the most important meal. You go to work and you get your time to eat, and that's whether you're hungry or not, you have to eat because you might not get a chance till you get home or whatever,
Yeah.
right? I am grateful that I am working at home where I can go, oh, I'm not hungry yet, what time is it, right? I don't even look at the time, and I eat more in flow of when, rather than a clock, just when my body is saying, you know what, you need to eat something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I'm at home with and that, but there's so many patterns that I've had to work through, like from when I was doing social work and stuff like that, where it was like, or even like silly patterns, like, oh, you don't eat, past 7, or, things like that. And it's just that working through and leaving that conditioning behind and going, that's not my truth. My
Yep.
truth is what my body wants. And if my body wants something at 10 o'clock at night, it's going to have it. And I'm
Yep.
not going to shame myself, the shadow, thinking that I'm breaking the rules or whatever, because there are no rules. They're my rules. That's it
Yeah, yeah.
for me.
And back and to your sleep, not sleeping. See, when I have night, I've been up since 4. So, and I'm why it's not that I'm thinking of things. It's not, I just sometimes I just wake and I'm up for the day and I'm okay with that. I ask before I go to bed, I will say, allow me to have the rest my body requires in order to function the next day. Because, we can tell ourselves that we have to go to bed at a certain time and we need 8 hours of sleep. And, but do we? Maybe we're resting enough, right? And I don't nap during the day. Sometimes I am utterly exhausted, but then I just go to bed early, right? I can do that. But being on that in that time frame, it's bedtime, right? We're back into that time
Mhm.
where time doesn't exist. It is what we've been conditioned to, right?
Yep. Oh,
So
I nap. I
oh,
love a good
good.
nap if I feel called to. And I think we were talking about this too. Like I slept last night and I had a good sleep, quote unquote sleep, but I don't feel like I rested. Like I don't feel like I really slept. And that's how I felt the last couple with the energies like you talked about. Just feeling really exhausted, even though, and again, it's that, oh well, I had, 7 hours, I should be good. My body's saying no. My body's
Yeah,
like,
but
nope,
there's
I'm
that
tired.
time, right? There's that time. I've had 7 hours,
Yeah.
right? Maybe you required 10, right? Like it's what it is. But I feel too, as an empath, we are picking up the collective's energy of the world. And right now it's beyond crazy. But we are moving, I feel, into a whole new timeline, or we have moved and we're just adjusting to it, right?
Yeah.
Um, higher vibrational timelines. Maybe we require more rest. Maybe our energetic body is working twice as hard in this new timeline. So we need that. And we shouldn't label it as we should be rested with 8 hours or 7 hours or whatever we get, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I just feel like we're changing complete timelines.
Well, and our bodies are totally shifting, like you said, and to incorporate those energies. And so it's our bodies physically are changing. And as empaths, we are not only the energies like from other people in the collective, but also from Gaia. She's having like some major stuff going on. And that's moving through us too, especially if we're an earth empath. Um
Yeah.
that energy, and we are helping her move that energy. And so there's all of that. And so sometimes when you wake up and you're like, I slept a lot time wise, but my body's just like, "Woo," that's
Yeah.
okay. It is what it is.
Yeah. And as a light worker, I feel that we are moving even when we're sleeping, right? Our energy is is saving lives. Our energy is healing. Our energy is traveling. All of the things. So we move where we need to move when we are sleeping. And that's why I always ask for the rest that I need, because I know that I am traveling. I know that I am going places and healing and doing the things. So we're here to do that. And
Mhm.
we shouldn't have to sacrifice who we are during our waking hours
Yeah,
to have that happen.
very true. You're very good at that. I don't necessarily ask. I just go, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
that's
then
flow.
go with it however it appears.
Yep. For
But
sure.
that took, like I said, like a long time, because there was so much of that grasping with the sleep, with the eating, with everything. It was like, oh, okay, this is what I did yesterday, so I can do this today. And then it's like, but today is not yesterday. It's totally different energies. My body's different. I'm feeling different. Emotions are different. Everything's different. So just because it worked one way doesn't mean it's going to
Yeah.
work the next day.
And you shouldn't want to be the same way you were yesterday as what you are today.
Very good point. Never thought of that. Very
Yeah.
good point, though.
I will use the words out of Tara's mouth. If you were a tree,
Ah,
what would you do? Would you worry?
exactly. Just be a tree.
Yeah. Touche. Yeah.
So I guess we should maybe share what that is.
Yeah.
So I always say we are natural beings and we are meant to be natural beings, which means, like I said to Sue, I always ask myself, what would a tree do right now? Tree's not worried about water. Tree's not worried about, is it nighttime? Is it daytime? Is it time to eat? Is it time for rain? Oh my gosh, am I getting enough sun? Am I getting too much sun? When do I get the right sun? It's just being a tree. And so that's sometimes what I need to ground myself literally is where I go, okay, what would a tree do? Just be a tree. So just be a tree.
That's right. Yeah. 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 And, and that makes me feel like you want to draw that energy from that tree too, that, safety and all the things that come with, you know, and sometimes it's totally, this is what's coming in. So I got to say it, but kind of shifting a little bit when I am in those moments where I am, on the wave, right? When
Yeah.
I'm doing the struggle, I can be having what I feel is a bad day, and I will go my backyard is all trees and it's green and it's got a creek running through. It's beautiful. Anyway, I will go out on my deck and the birds, it doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, whatever, the birds are chirping and I'm like, "Really? It's going to storm and you're chirping?" Like, so I remind myself of, you know, if nature doesn't struggle, right? Why am I feeling that this is a struggle? So then it
Mhm.
allows me to go deeper, right? And allows me to go, hey, wait a minute, maybe it's nothing that I need to really worry about in this moment. Um, and then the energy often will shift for me, because that's all it is. When we're struggling, it's stuck energy. It's like we're not in flow, we're not grounded, we're not whatever, right? We're not in
Yeah.
the space that we know we should be in.
Yeah. That's pretty much the same thing. It's just that because nature is so always in flow. So again, that bird is not like, oh, it's snowing. What am I going to do? It's like, just be a bird. Just be a bird. And yeah, so that's beautiful. I love the birds in the spring, especially. That's like one of my favorite things to wake up to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was doing my morning YouTube message this morning at 5:30. Um, and there was actually a robin that came and it was in the grass. It had been raining. We've had quite a bit of rain, but anyway, it was getting its worm. But it was like, you know what? Keep going. Keep digging for, you have your sights on something, keep digging and go get what you need. Be in the moment.
Yeah. And robins are so that energy. They're the spring energy. They're that yeah, I've had lots of robins. I had a baby bunny in my yard this morning,
Oh,
which is
ooh,
rebirth.
rebirth, new possibilities. It's like seeds are sprouting, coming to fruition. Love
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Love it.
Yeah. It's interesting how it always speaks to us too. I don't know if we want to bring that up because it's going to be like a whole other, maybe
Yeah.
that's another musing.
Yeah, I think so. We're getting to be, it's been a half hour anyway. So,
I kind of thought we might be, yeah. And I know we were trying to keep it somewhat, but
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead. It's here. It's meant to be said. Go for it.
I was going to say, it's so, It's so beautiful how when we open up to, and it's part about being in flow because we're not constantly in our heads, is how beautiful things show up for us. Like that, like the bunny, like the robin, getting the worm. And I mean, getting the worm, could there be more?
Yeah,
That kind of thing. Um, yeah, it's just so beautiful how it shows up.
yeah.
And we miss that when we are not in flow.
That's right. And I find that if I'm not in flow, I'm not receiving the messages. I just don't. It's the struggle. It's like beating your head against the wall. But since I have been in flow and I'm like, you want me to do this? Like it's not what I want. It's not, but guess what? It's brought me to where I am, which I maybe not have would have found that space otherwise, right? More flow. Like it's the hardest thing to do, but man, it is the magic shows up, like you said, and it comes through. And if we are letting life pass us by, we're completely missing the whole program.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's so about, for me, it is, I guess the easiest way to say it is just being really present in the moment. And not with any stories, not with any attachment, just being present in the moment. And that is, like you said, sounds so wonderful, which it is, but it's very hard to, challenging, I won't say hard. It's a lot of inner work. It takes work. It's not something, um and I mean, like you said, and I said too, it's not that it's a conscious choice for me to be in flow, and it's a
Oh,
conscious awareness to be, for me to be in flow, because things will come up, or I'll get a phone call, or something will happen, and I have that choice at that point to go into an old story or to stay in flow.
yeah.
And sometimes I choose to go to an old story, and then I'm like, whoop, nope, don't want to go down this road.
We're human. I love how you said that it's a conscious choice and awareness. I love that because it truly is. We can choose to struggle and be in our head, right? And I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to be in flow because that's just how we're human, right?
Yeah,
So it's a choice. Absolutely. I love that. I love how you said that.
it is, and it's a choice moment to moment. And like I said, um, there's been times I've gone into an old story, and then I get like 10 steps down that path, and I'm like, oh no, 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 retreat, retreat,
Yeah,
and go back. And I always have that choice. And sometimes it's a lot longer than, sometimes it's a day or whatever. Um, and that's okay. And I've learned to not, beat myself up or something about it, because it's like, that's being in flow too. Apparently, I needed to relearn this lesson. Like we were saying, especially with Mercury retrograde and stuff like that right now. I had a day where it was like, I'm just reaffirming what I want. And so old stuff was coming up, and I just allowed it to be what it needed to be without giving it the energy or extra attachment, and just let it move through. And that's part of that being in flow. Because being in flow also doesn't mean that we resist what's coming up. So if something's coming up, it's coming up for a reason,
100%.
and it's allowing its space to move through, rather than trying to manipulate it and make it be what I want it to be.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think we should end it there. Thank you.
We
Um,
could talk forever, hey?
yeah, we can. So if there's, we'll have each other's contact information in the description. Also, if there's any topics anyone wants us to cover, um, like the shadow or, just more on that, in that connection and allowing things to be in flow and in the conversation.
I was just
Um,
gonna say,
yeah.
we'll try and fit it in if it's
Yeah,
in
that's right.
flow.
Yeah. So just put it in the comments because that is something that, we're doing this every 2 weeks. We're just kind of feeling the energy to chatting. And yeah, and if you want if you want to book with Tara, her information is going to be below. Mine is always there in mine. And Tara will have mine. And if you want to do the soul retrieval healing session, which is very powerful, that's the two of us together. The link will be below and you can choose it or not.
It's so fun when we do them because we are completely in flow, and Sue will get a message and I'll get a healing or a transmission, and we just go with it, and it's just beautiful. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we did a group one in Lethbridge, and
mhm,
the response was very powerful and very amazing. So when you can really connect as a collective in a group, that's pretty awesome.
mhm.
Yeah.
And we're doing it again in Brooks.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, we are. September 21st on the solstice. So we'll put the link for that below too.
For sure.
There'll be lots of them, lots of links.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you and have a magical day.
You too. I love that. Have a magical day.
Much love.